When I start planning a video, there's two key factors I require when choosing a game to talk about. The first is that I actually want to play it. The second is that I have some sort of specific topic that I want to talk about. In the case of Doom 2016, this wasn't immediately the case. The game has been out for a few years now, and everyone has certainly gushed over how good it is. It was my game of the year for 2016, and I have replayed it countless times. With less free time right now than I normally have, I was wanting to replay Doom 2016 again. Doom Eternal is hopefully on the horizon, and watching McGordon's GDC talk about how he made the music just made me remember how much I love this game. But I thought to myself, I don't have a specific topic to talk about, and I can't just talk about the game in general. That's been done a million times over by now. But I was being stubborn, so I started playing anyway. And within moments of playing the first level again, I had decided on a topic. I was paying close attention to the combat flow, and a topic slammed into me so hard I thought I'd been hit by a pinky. Doom 2016 was immediately praised on launch for a specific mechanic: glory kills. Not only were they flashy, but they were fast and they didn't compromise the gameplay. I'm here today to talk about how Doom's glory kills were not only designed well in terms of not compromising the pace, but I think they actually dictate the pace and are a huge reason the game feels so tight and drives the player to always move forward and take down enemies in a fast, aggressive style. I'm gonna send this over to Unscripted Me, who recorded some gameplay with commentary over the top. I narrated my decisions as I made them so you can see exactly when I'm able to give myself time to make decisions. Spoiler alert, it's the glory kills. Okay, so here we are at the first Gore nest in the game. I only have the combat shotgun with no attachments, and we're going to see how, even in this first fight, there's already a flow of combat being established. So we'll get started here. I'm going to narrate my decisions as I make them, so you can see when I'm able to make decisions. Clear, defined decisions. There we go. Next we're going to finish him, check to the left because I can hear it. I can hear another one on my left. So we have 3 right now. They're on the right because I saw them. They go up down here. There's one on my right. Oh, yep. Finish, another one to the right. Okay, check to my left. Down below me. There's one behind me right now. Finish, check to the left. There he is, saw the fireball. One above me. On the front. Sure, went up. And there you go. Okay. So here we are a little further through the game. I'm playing on my completed save file now, so I've accessed all the weapons. The one key difference you're going to see here is that I will now be using the weapon wheel more to be switching weapons, which gives me a little bit more decision time. As you saw in the last one, most of my time to make a distinct decision was during a glory kill. Now I have both during the glory kill and during when I'm selecting on the weapon wheel. Now, it doesn't completely stop time, but it does give you a little bit of breathing room so you can make a decision on switching the weapon and what you're going to do. So I'm going to start this Gore nest and show you how having access to a wider range of tools and dealing with more enemies changes how the decision making works, and so you can see the general flow. I'll be attempting to call out my glory kills a little bit more this time so that you can see when I have defined time to make a decision. There we go. I'm going to start out by getting ammo because I'm a little low. So I'm going to go and take ammo. There's a large enemy to the right, so I'm going to swap to chain gun. Take him out. Smaller enemy to the right, so I'm going to switch to the shotgun. I had enough time to make a decision because of the weapon wheel. Further away, I'm going to switch to the assault rifle. Take him out from range. Bigger enemy close to me, so I'm going to switch to the rocket launcher. Keep him away, just lock on. Finish, and then these enemies on my left, so I'm going to switch to another ranged weapon. It was closer than I thought. I'm going to switch to the super shotgun. Finish. Enemy in front of me. Super shotgun finish. And that's it. So you're able to see a little bit more there. My distinct decisions are able to happen when I'm making a glory kill and when I am in my weapon wheel. And the reason that is good is because killing an enemy with a glory kill gives you, not only gives you health, but it gives you time to make a decision. So it incentivizes you to do glory kills, not only so you can heal, but also so you can make a decision on what you're going to do next. So I'd like to point out before the next Gore nest, this decision-making process is not just isolated to these Gore nests. I'm using them as an example because it's easy to bring a bunch of enemies upon me at once and force me to make a lot of decisions. There are a few straggling enemy packs around in the game, and it becomes more present, especially in the hell sections of the game. But in a controlled area like this, when you're presented many enemies to deal with at once, it shows that decision-making process out very well. We're going to do another one. This is in the same level as the last one, but just in a different environment, so you can see how these... This is a more vertical area. I have a lot more movement potential, and a lot more enemies show up with this Gore nest, so I wanted to show this one off a bit. I have lower chainsaw health this time, but I do need ammo again, so we're going to keep that in mind for this Gore nest. So here we go. Again, same thing, same decision-making process going to be happening here. So we start off Helmet right here, so we're going to get rid of them quick. Got some issues with these enemies here. So now I'm low on health, so my decisions are very much fueled by finishes like this. There's a guy behind me still, so I'm going to finish him as well. So now I've gotten my health back. I'm going to switch to a ranged weapon so I can dispose of some of these guys quickly. Machine gun. Finish this guy. Rockets. I'm just trying to get him down so I can get some health off this guy. There's a guy up to the left, far away. Getting closer to him now, switching to the super shotgun. Gonna move up on the booster. Checking around. I believe they've moved over this way. I'm gonna switch to the plasma rifles for some range. And he has now moved down to here. Behind me. Gonna use my blast. And there we go. So you can see at the beginning there when I got stuck over here, between the Hell Knight and the two enemies that have the lasers, I immediately got put into a low health situation. I almost got knocked off as well. So immediately my decisions are much more fueled by finishing moves, and I'm trying my best to move from enemy to enemy, finishing them to get my health back, and then checking and managing where the enemies are relative to my location. So I'm also playing keep away. I'm controlling the pack as much as I can. Most of that decision making is entirely fueled by glory kills, so it really dictates the pace of the game. You also saw me after I finished those, going into my weapon wheel and changing to the assault rifle to manage some range as I moved forward over into this area. So here we are at Lazarus Labs. We're getting closer to the end of the game here. And at this point you have all the weapons, all the materials at your disposal. You've seen most of the enemy types, and now we really start to see some very difficult rooms the game throws at you. Lots of enemies into a cramped space, tons of decisions need to be made in a quick succession to survive. So we're going to get started on this Gore nest so you can see what kind of changes the decision-making process makes as more enemies and weapons are thrown into the mix. So I'm going to go immediately for any weak enemies I can see. There's an enemy up above me. I'm going to go for a larger weapon because it takes a little more health. Take him out as quick as I can. He's done. Switching to a shotgun for closer range. Gonna remove him with a grenade. Need another grenade. Pull this barrel up. Close range management. Take this for health. There's a guy on my right. A couple on my right. There's a larger enemy on my left. I'm gonna go for a bigger weapon. Oh, there's a keep him at bay with the chain gun. Going for a finish. Switch to super shotgun. Close enemies. Okay. Shotgun for range, focus barrel. This guy's on me. Finish them. More close range enemies. Keeping an eye out for the big ones. Those are always the highest priority. There's another larger enemy there. We're gonna go Gauss Cannon. Get him close. One more, finish him. Close range, shotgun. Switch to combat shotgun for a grenade. Finish for health. Checking my right. Okay, we've got a larger enemy close. I'm going straight to the chain gun. Going in for a finish briefly. To get a finish, switch to the shotgun, finish. Going up as I saw an enemy on the crosswalk. Switching to the main shotgun. Close range, close range. Jumping away and grenading. And there we go. So significantly more amount of decisions need to be made there. Much more weapon switching, much more health management. Mid attack on the larger enemy, I went for a finish, both for positioning's sake and to give me a chance to heal and to switch weapons, as I have moved out of the vision of that enemy so he wouldn't be able to attack me. So I went for a finish, switched weapons, moved closer, finished him off, and got the glory kill on him as well, also for health. And that helps me keep my health up while I'm playing, and also gives me a chance to switch weapons when I need to, so I can manage those larger enemies while switching back to the combat shotgun and the super shotgun for the smaller, closer range enemies. So here we are near the end of Lazarus Labs, and we're outside of the last room before the Cyber Demon. And the key with this room is that it will constantly spawn waves of demons in, and you have to manage the packs, and it's in a very tight, cramped room. There's lots of things to manage, so this will be the last one to really show how important those few moments, glory kills, and the weapon wheel give you to make a decision on what you're going to do next. So pay close attention to when I use the weapon wheel and when I use glory kills, not only for health, but for managing when my next decision is going to be. So here we go. I'm going to start the shotgun out. Most likely going to need a grenade pretty quick. We got enemies there. Taco Demon spawns right away. We're going to go with the Gauss Cannon. One more. Make a finish. So immediately switch to shotgun, so I'm going down, right for a grenade. Saving the quad damage for later. We're going to need it for when pinkies show up. They're a real pain. Going to shield guy. We got a larger enemy here. Going to go with the Gauss Cannon. Even close. Checking my left with shotgun for a grenade. We've got a few enemies coming in. These shield guys are a bit of a problem. I'm going to try to take the glory kill. Managed to get him in there. Okay, managing these laser guys, moving up. With the super shotgun, getting close to these close range kills. Gonna switch to the combat shotgun for a grenade. Moving in, grabbing the haste. Keep myself moving. Going for these imps, trying to build my health back up. I'm under 100 now. Managing with grenades. So I'm putting a grenade in there, moving up. Wanted to see if there's any larger enemies I can remove, going with long range for these enemies. That actually grabbed the ledge. That really messed me up. I'm going for that health that I just spawned. I'm going down. Okay, we're close to enemies, so I'm going to use a grenade. Moving up. Moving above so I can get some health. Close enemies, still further enemies. Larger enemy here, so I'm going to switch to the chain gun, keep them away. Got some health built up there. Moving in for a glory kill, grabbing health. Taking some damage there from behind. Playing this imp. And then we got a pinky spawning, so soon I'm going to be grabbing the quad damage. Eliminating some closer range enemies here. Switching to the shotgun for a nade, we got the pinky coming in, so I'm going to move and grab the quad damage. Okay, quad damage now. We're going to move to immediately eliminate that pinky. Have to find him. Where he's gone, there he is. More shots to do it. There we go. Close range, lots of enemies going to do that. And throw a grenade for good measure. I need to get that pile of health. Another grenade. Taking out this helmet because he landed near me. Now we got Barons. Switching to Gauss Cannon for this. We got a larger enemy. I'm going full BFG for this. Closer enemies. And there we go. That BFG managed to actually finish them all off. So, as you can see, in this final jam-packed clusterfuck room, so many decisions have to be made about picking up health, managing enemies, knowing when to grab the quad damage and the haste, managing what weapons you use to dispatch which enemies. Normally I would have just used the Gauss Cannon to get rid of the Barons, but we had the bigger Baron with the green, so I wanted to just eliminate him as fast as possible, as the other Baron was also on top of me with a bunch of imps. So I wanted to remove them as fast as possible with the BFG, and that ended up being in the end of the fight, so it worked out. I chose to grab the quad damage when the pinkies showed up because they tend to be the hardest to deal with, at least for me personally, and I wanted to have that to be a easy dispatching method. So many decisions, so many ways to go about taking out that room. I've re-recorded this a few times now with a few deaths, and each time it's kind of played out a little differently. So it really shows how those few seconds of decision making you have when you use the weapon wheel and when you use glory kills really help you to feel like you have control of the situation while also still keeping it very frantic, because it's very few moments that you have of calm respite before you have to get back to fighting. As you can see from those high decision-making fights, having crucial moments to clear your head and decide where to move next is a key part of the flow of combat and knowing what decisions to make. I think this is an absolutely beautiful design for a mechanic, whether it was intentional or not. With Doom Eternal close on the horizon, hopefully, I can only hope they maintain this same beautiful flow of combat while also iterating upon the expert design of its predecessor to make a sequel that can live up to the excellence of Doom 2016. Thanks for watching. Check out my Twitter and my Twitch, links are in the description. I also have a Patreon now. So if you'd like to support my content, feel free to check it out. The link for that is also in the description. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.